specifying and saving a figure with exact size in pixels. Say I have an image of size 3841 by 7195 pixels. I would like to save the contents of the figure to disk, resulting in an image of the exact size I specify in pixels. No axis, no titles. Just the image. I don't personally care about PIS, as I only want to specify the size the image takes in the screen and disk in pixels. I have read other threads, and they all seem to do conversions to inches and then specify the dimensions of the figure in inches and adjust P's in some way. I would like to avoid dealing with the potential loss of accuracy that could result from pixel to inches conversions. I have tried with no luck. Python complains that width and height must each be below 32,768. From everything I have seen, matplotlib requires the figure size to be specified in inches and p, but I am only interested in the pixels the figure takes in disk. How can I do this? To clarify, I am looking for a way to do this with matplotlib, and not with other image saving libraries.
Matplotlib doesn't work with pixels directly, but rather physical sizes and p. If you want to display a figure with a certain pixel size, you need to know the p of your monitor. For example, this link will detect that for you. If you have an image of 3841 by 7195 pixels, it is unlikely that your monitor will be that large, so you won't be able to show a figure of that size. Matplotlib requires the figure to fit in the screen. If you ask for a size too large, it will shrink to the screen size. Let's imagine you want an 800 by 800 pixel image just for an example. Here's how to show an 800 by 800 pixel image in my monitor. My underscored p equals 96. So you basically just divide the dimensions in inches by your p. If you want to save a figure of a specific size, then it is a different matter. Screen bits are not so important anymore, unless you ask for a figure that won't fit in the screen. Using the same example of the 800 by 800 pixel figure, we can save it in different resolutions using the p keyword of savefig. To save it in the same resolution as the screen, just use the same p. To save it as an 8000 by 8000 pixel image, use a p 10 times larger. Note that the setting of the p is not supported by all backends. Here, the ping backend is used, but the PDF and PS backends will implement the size differently. Also, changing the p and sizes will also affect things like font size. A larger p will keep the same relative sizes of fonts and elements, but if you want smaller fonts for a larger figure, you need to increase the physical size instead of the p. Getting back to your example, if you want to save an image with 3841 by 7195 pixels, you could do the following. Note that I used the figured p of 100 to fit in most screens, but saved with p equals 1000 to achieve the required resolution. In my system, this produces a ping with 3840 by 7190 pixels. It seems that the p saved is always 0.02 pixels/inch smaller than the selected value, which will have a small effect on large image sizes. Some more discussion of this here.
This worked for me, based on your code, generating a 93 MB PNG image with color noise and the desired dimensions. I am using the last pip versions of the Python 2.7 libraries in Linux Mint 13. Hope that helps.
The op wants to preserve 1-to-1 pixel data. As an astronomer working with science images, I cannot allow any interpolation of image data, as it would introduce unknown and unpredictable noise or errors. For example, here is a snippet from a 480 by 480 image saved via matplotlib. Detail of pixels which matplotlib resampled to be roughly 2 by 2, but notice the column of 1 by 2 pixels. You can see that most pixels were simply doubled, so a 1 by 1 pixel becomes 2 by 2, but some columns and rows became 1 by 2 or 2 by 1 per pixel, which means that the original science data has been altered. As hinted at by alka, plt.imsave, which will achieve what the op is asking for. Say you have image data stored in image array M, then one can do something like where the file name has the PNG extension in this example, but you must still specify the format with format equals PNG anyway. As far as I can tell, the image array is R, and we chose the inverted grayscale gray_R as the color map. I usually add vmin and vmax to specify the dynamic range, but these are optional. The end result is a PNG file of exactly the same pixel dimensions as the M array. Note, the op specified no axes, etc., which is what this solution does exactly. If one wants to add axes, ticks, etc., my preferred approach is to do that on a separate plot, saving with transparent equals true, PNG or PDF, then overlay the latter on the image. This guarantees you have kept the original pixels intact.
Based on the accepted response by Tiago, here is a small generic function that exports a NumPy array to an image having the same resolution as the array. As said in the previous reply by Tiago, the screen P needs to be found first, which can be done here. For instance, this URL. I've added an additional argument resize_fact in the function which you can export the image to 50%, 0.5, of the original resolution, for instance.